everyone, so welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today we're doing a Sephora haul try on. I'm going to do a full face of makeup with most of the products that I purchased during the Sephora sale that happened recently, and I'm going to just pull myself together, do a full face look for you, do something a little bit kind of fun just to kind of match my shirt. It kind of inspired me. It's like a neon green, lime green shirt that I got from Target, which by the way, these shirts are so soft, so comfortable. I ordered a bunch of different shades. Got some in store and then online as well. They're about $6 to $8 and they are so soft. This is what I wear, these types of t-shirts and leggings, athleisure pants, or bike shorts. That's pretty much my mom uniform every day. So anyways, long story short, we're gonna get started. I gotta put some makeup on this face and we've got the headband in place, hair out of the way, let it continue air drying, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start off with the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer, and I'm gonna use my fingers to blend this in. And this is a really nice primer, super silky, smooth, goes right over the pores, makes the skin feel really soft. The foundation, which is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Foundation. It's the serum one, and I got the right shade during the sale. So this is the shade WN01 Flax. And I still stand by the Beauty Blender or damp beauty sponge being the best way to apply this. I prefer the way it looks over using a brush. I did a video on this foundation with a deeper shade that was not the right match for me, and I did one side with the sponge, one side with the brush, and the sponge is the way to go. And I used approximately half a pump because this is more on the full coverage side. I feel like half a pump is enough for me personally, but if you use a full pump you get a true full coverage, and it blends beautifully right over this primer. Next up is the Caliray Hideaway Brightening Under Eye Corrector Concealer. This is supposed to be a brightening and hydrating under eye serum concealer. And I picked up the shade Dawn, which is a very light pink, and it does really brighten. And I like to use my damp beauty sponge to blend this in. I have used this a few times and I do like how brightening it is. And I like it with a sponge, also good with a brush, but I prefer using the sponge to blend this in. And as you can see, it definitely does brighten. And it's kind of hard to tell because I should have just done one eye with and one without so you can really see it, but there's a couple shades that you can choose from, but the lightest shade is I think ideal for more fair skin, and it's the shade called Dawn. I'm going in with a little bit of the Clinique Serum Concealer. This is the Even Better All Over Concealer. This is the one that matches the foundation. I have it in the same shade. It'll be listed and linked for you down below, but I am going to use this one from my collection because I didn't buy any actual concealers. The Hideaway from Caliray was the only concealer type of product that I bought during the sale. And again, going back into that beauty sponge and blending this right over the Hideaway. For under eye setting powder, I'm going to use the light pink setting powder from McGrath. I also picked this up during the sale. It's the shade called Baby Pink, and this is the blurring under eye powder. And I like to use my beauty sponge or brush for this step, and these powders are finely milled. I have a light color, and I really, really like the way this looks under the eyes. It's thin, lightweight, but it's blurring, smooth the under eye. It's literally like applying a filter. So airbrushed and beautiful. And this is quite brightening when I use it over the Hideaway, which I've done this a few times since posting the video on Friday about these products. So I feel like I have a very bright under eye, and I think it'll be more noticeable once I use blush and bronzer. You'll get to see a little bit more of that brightening effect right under the eyes, which I like, and I do enjoy the way this powder looks. I have no complaints over the color or the formula. Going in with a little bit of the Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder from Tilbury. This was not a purchase during the sale. It's a very good product, and I have a mini that I've had for a while, and it's in the shade One Fair, and I'm going to lightly apply a little bit of this, just kind of pushing it right over the foundation to set it before going in with my bronzer, and I'm using a BK Beauty 111 brush for this step. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Softsculpt bronzer in the light medium. This was one that I did pick up during the sale. And I'm using the cutest little brush. This is the mini multitask brush from Real Techniques that you can get at Ulta. And I love this brush. It's so soft. It's perfect for bronzer, for blush, face powder. You can do so much with it. And this color, the light medium, I'm glad that I purchased this one instead of the medium because this shade I think is really good. It's nice and warm and adds that kind of glow and that warmth to the skin that I'm looking for, but it's not too dark, blends easily, It's just the right shade. I really like this formula. It's really silky and smooth. Can you believe that during the sale I did not purchase a new blush? I know what's wrong with me. I always added blush to almost every single order that I place online. I don't know what it is, but I love blush. And one that I've been using a lot lately is this blush from NARS in the shade called Behave. This is a mini size. It was in a set, limited edition set from, I think, almost 2 years ago. You can buy this in full size. And it is a pretty, it looks like almost nothing in the pan, but it gives a really nice natural flush to the skin that doesn't really compete with the eyes. And I can do a cool tone look with this blush. I can wear it with a warm tone eye. Or like today, I'm going to do something a little bit fun and different, kind of something you probably think is unexpected for me because it's not really something that I do often, hardly ever, with the eyeshadow, but we'll get to that in a moment. But the blush is beautiful, great formula, love the shade. And I've been using my little wispy brush, the 112 from BK Beauty. It's so small. I love this for cream products, but I've been using it for blush lately, for powder blush, I should say. And it is so good. And you see this color? It just adds a little bit of color back into the skin, a little bit of a natural flush, but it's not over the top and it's not overdone. It's just right. Next up, let's add some glow. I'm going to use the new highlighter that I bought during the sale, the Makeup Forever Wherever Pearl Highlighter. And I'm just going to swirl this on the tops of the cheekbone, but I'm also going to bring it just a little bit further in than I normally do. And I think it's just because this shade is such a beautiful, cool tone pink that's got a bit of iciness to it. I feel like it's super flattering and it just melts right into the skin. The formula is really nice. I dislike the packaging very much, and I talked about that in Monday's video, but the formula is beautiful. The color is stunning, and it makes the skin look so pretty, or as Michaela would say, the skin is skinning, right? Who watches Michaela on TikTok? She is hilarious and very good at applying makeup. Before moving on to eyes, gotta set everything with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. The best setting spray there is on the market. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to use the new Makeup by Mario palette. This is the Master Mattes, the neutrals that I bought during the sale. Love these neutral tones. Love the cool tones in here, the everyday shades. So I'm going to start by using the lightest shade to set my primer, which by the way is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is shade MN1. And I'm going to just apply that all over my lids, all the way up to my brow bone, or just shy because I did do a little bit of highlighter there. And I'm using a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A501 brush for this. I'm going to take the shade MN7, which is this kind of rosy, cool tone shade right here. It's a little bit of like a rosy undertone. And I'm going to use a big fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to start applying a little bit of color into the crease, just following the natural shape of my eye. And just creating a little bit of definition and creating more shape to the eye. Because this brush is a little bit soft and more wispy, there's a lot of give, as you can see the bristles moving. I'm going to go into the crease and then pull that up just slightly as I'm working up towards my brow bone. And just kind of creating a very light wash of color for this step. This is sort of like a transition type of step where I'm adding just a hint of color there. I'm going to switch to a different style crease brush. This is the BK Beauty 212, and I'm going to go into the shade here called MN4. This is going to add a little bit more depth to my crease area, so I'm going to start on the outer part of my eye, circular motions, and then working it back and forth into my natural crease. Swinging down to the lower lash line, I'm going to take that same MN4 shade and I'm going to apply that to the lower part of my eye, mostly on the outer part, and then tapering it very thin and lightly towards the inner corner of my eye. With a reference number 02 brush, I'm going into the shade MN2, and that's going to be my lid shade for today. With that same brush, I'm going to go into the MN1, which is the light shade that I use to set my primer. And I'm going to use that to go over that same shade just a little bit to create a little bit of brightness. I'm going to take the shade MN7, with a Sephora Pro 27 crease brush, and I'm going to define the outer V of my eye just a little bit more and add some more color there. And I'm going to stamp this right on this outer part of my eye. And I'll come back to blending here in a moment, but I'm just mostly placing this color exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to go back into that 212 brush from BK Beauty and blend that out just a little bit more. But I'm not pulling this shade too far onto the lid or too high up into the crease. I'm just kind of keeping it right on this outer part. I'm going to take a little bit of that same shade right on this outer part of my lower lash line. Same brush. I'm not going to dirty any more brushes. I'm just going to use the same one. And so far these have blended out beautifully, this formula of these colors in this neutral matte. I do have the original palette from Makeup by Mario that's more warm tone, again all mattes as well, but I think I prefer the way these are blending and the ease of use. I feel like these are just perfection, and I love how easy it is. I've used this palette a couple times and I think it's really great, and the formula is A+. For eyeliner, I'm going to use my favorite drugstore liquid liner, and it's the one from NYX, the Epic Ink in the brown shade. So I'm going to just do a thin line to follow the natural shape of my eye, thinner as it works in the inner corner and then thicker as we go out. This is just one of my favorites. It's the brown shade, it's waterproof, and it's easy to use. I hardly ever make mistakes with this liner, so I'm going to use this one and just do a quick line. See, just a quick line, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I love the tone of brown of this liner. So remember when I said that I was going to do a look that's somewhat unexpected that you probably wouldn't expect me to do? And we're going to get to that step right now. Before I do my mascara, I'm going to do something just a little different, a little special, taking a little inspiration from this neon lime green shirt and my matching bracelet that I made with my daughters. I'm going to hop into the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. And I've got the perfect shade that goes almost identical to my shirt. And it's the shade called Camu Camu, which is this really bright neon lime green. I'm going to use that same Rephr number 2 brush, which is an eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to apply this to the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to kind of put a little bit onto the very inner part of my upper lid and right in this inner part of my eye, just to kind of highlight and do something fun and different. And that's a fun way to add a little bit of color. I know it seems kind of odd and different because this shade is bright, it's bold. It's not for everyone. Certainly not something that I do every single day. It does feel kind of different. But I thought I have been wanting to do something with that color for the longest time. I've done this before, but very, very lightly. And I feel like today I'm just taking it a step further and I'm going all the way. And I like it. And it gives me a way to use something so bright from this palette, which is all greens. And of course, it's going to look better once we do the mascara. So I'm going to do that. And then I will show you the completed eye look. And here is the look with the mascara. I told you the mascara definitely pulls this whole thing together. It's the bow on the present. It just takes it to a whole nother level. When you put the mascara on, this is the way it looks, and I actually like it. And you have to trust the process if you decide to try something like this. You don't have to do this really bright neon lime green. You can do it with a pink color. You can do it with purples, an aqua shade, a teal, whatever you want it to do. Life is short, so why not use the bright colors and just have fun with makeup? During the sale, I picked up 2 lip liners, a lip cheat pencil from Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk Fair, and the Velvet Peach from Lawless. I think that this peach probably would kind of clash maybe with the eyes. I don't know, so let's play it safe. And I also personally want to try this one first. This is the Pillow Talk Fair. So this is what it looks like just lined. I kind of followed the natural shape and then slightly overdrew right here in the Cupid's bow area. Like so. Such a good shade. I feel like that's kind of like my lips but better. I'm a huge fan of the original Pillow Talk. This is my original Pillow Talk. Do you see how small this is getting? I do have a full-size backup ready to go because this is like my lips but better. So let's compare the original Pillow Talk to Pillow Talk Fair. Here's the swatches of the two. This first swatch here is the original Pillow Talk, and then here is the Pillow Talk Fair. As you can see, the Pillow Talk Fair is a little bit lighter and a little bit on the cooler side. I think it's perfect. It's the perfect everyday lip liner. I have a few new lip products that I picked up during the sale. One of the Haus Labs lip glaze. This is the pH hybrid lip glaze. So it's supposed to be a bunch of different things in one. This is the Forget the Filler from Lawless in the shade called Velvet, and this is beautiful. Love this formula. It's a plumping gloss with a little bit of color to it. This came in one of the Sephora favorite sets that I purchased. And I kind of want to see how this Haus Labs is going to work. I'm interested because it's supposed to be a plumper, so let's just go in with the Haus Labs in Macaron. And I think this shade is going to be the perfect match to go with the Pillow Talk Fair Lip Liner. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is nice. Feels so good. Kind of on the thicker side, but not like overly thick. Yep. This feels so nice on the lips. And this is the Macaron shade, which is a nice, pretty cool tone pink. It goes absolutely perfect with the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner. Even the original Pillow Talk would go nice with this as well. I love the way this feels. It has a nice bit of color. It's not overly pigmented, but it's not so clear and transparent like a lip oil. And so far, I don't really feel any of the plumping or tingling. It just feels like I just put on a regular, slightly thicker lip gloss with a hint of color. I like this. I love this formula. That is an instant yes for me. And this is the finished look. What do you think? I like the way everything turned out today. I'm really happy. I took a little bit of a risk doing something different with the eyes, but I like the way it looks. It's fun. I'm just having fun with makeup, just truly enjoying why I love makeup so much, because I get to play and experiment, try something different, step out of my comfort zone a little bit, where it's out of my comfort zone, but it's not so far out there. I still feel comfortable. I would definitely leave my house with this whole outfit on, minus the headband, of course, but I would definitely wear this out in public and feel very comfortable and confident in wearing this really bright lime green eyeshadow. It's so different. What do you think? Have you tried something like this before? If you do wear bright colors, which ones do you typically go for? And I'm really pleased how everything is looking and turning out from my haul. I think I got some really great products to continue using and implementing into my daily routine and future makeup videos. I do have several products that I didn't get a chance to use that I bought during the sale. So we'll have to do this again and play with makeup and just kind of enjoy the fun of makeup. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and check out the description box. All the products will be listed and linked for you down below. Thanks so much for spending some of your day here with me. I appreciate you so much for watching and staying till the end. You can follow me on Instagram. My username always pops up here on the screen. I look forward to connecting with you there. See you in my next video. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.